How's it, everybody? Welcome back to Coral Reeches. And we are looking down today at an area not yet seen, I believe, on my YouTube videos. And that is because we started building a brand new town in the live stream. So this past weekend, we took the time to start setting out the foundation of this town that we will be building. And the idea here is that I wanted to have something that I'm able to do real time on the live streams that we can actively work on. So we started building this town. It is just off towards the end of the map along the river. So the map kind of ends there. And this is where we built, I don't know, a couple of episodes ago where I said I'm going to build a small European town. So just across from there, we're building this town. And the idea is that this town is going to be roughly the third biggest town in the region. At least right now, that is the plan. So we laid out the foundation with what looks like some kind of a small harbor over here with a regular passenger harbor, and we laid out the road networks and connected it all the way up to the main arterial that cuts through the entire landscape. So this will be an active project. We work on the live stream. So if you want to follow along with that, join us over on Twitch every Saturday evenings. That's generally where I stream. And I try and put the VODs up on my sister YouTube channel, Sanctum Gamer Live. So yeah, I'm looking forward to building this out with the input of whoever is on the streams as we extend it out over time. And each video that we start, I will give an update on where this town is. We'll show it off. And the idea also is that we plan on having trams in this town. So we've already started setting up the tram network, which is nothing major, just running all the way through up until I think here at the moment. And then it sort of loops back on itself, with this being the main town center. The plan is we're going to extend it out a little bit further, but we're not sure. All of that we shall decide during the course of the live stream. So yeah, tomorrow night, well, relative to when this video is being released, we will be back at it again. So that's the update on that. Today, what I want to do is I want to get cracking on setting up this area in preparation for the large city that we'll be building here. So the city is effectively going to work as the, capital of the region. It is going to be quite a big city. That's what I'm planning. I think the main city center will probably sit somewhere around here, and then we'll spread it out with residential blending into farmlands into sort of this area in that direction. And we'll do the same over here with some farmlands, and probably have a major industrial port sitting somewhere along this area of the map. So that is the plan. I'm hoping that today I'll be able to set up a main road that will come through and cut through this main city, sort of running almost parallel to the main arterial, but cutting all the way through the city itself, and then coming back to join up somewhere around here. The idea is that this road is going to be a highway road or expressway, and it will have no zoning next to it. It is sort of the shortcut through the entire city. And then we're gonna try and manipulate the landscape a little bit, right? I want to try and get a little land coming out. I want to try and just make it look, I don't know, a kind of way, just a bit better than this plainness that we currently have over here. And I need to be very careful because I'm not sure. Oh yeah, there we go. So we're very, very, very close to the edge of the map, so I can't extend too far out, maybe a little bit out in that direction, same roughly in this area. And the idea is I want to try and get, what's this thing, set up the landscape in such a way that we can build beaches and the likes, whilst at the same time figuring out a spot where I can have a harbor and all of those things in this area. So we're gonna kick things off today. I'm going to, where am I? We're gonna increase this size quite a bit, and I'm gonna grab the landscape and we're gonna bring it out a little bit. So I wanna create a little bit of like life around most of this area. So I don't want it to be too boring of a landscape. And I will not necessarily be building on some of these areas. It's mainly going to probably be decorative. That's what I'm thinking. But just so that we have, what's this thing? Some nice landscapes in and around this place. That for me is the most important thing of all, is the landscape must look nice. And I'm not sure if I want to extend this one out into the ocean a little bit more, just so that we create like a little bit more of a sort of a little gap that all the boats are going into, and then this area just gets some nice something other than just plain land that is just flat. I think that's what I want to try and avoid as much as possible. Okay, so somewhere in all of this, I need to make room for a harbor, beaches, all of those funny things. I am not 100% sure yet exactly where. I'll probably put the harbor somewhere in this space is what I am thinking, but time will tell. So for now, let me shape up the landscape a little bit, see what I can get it to look like, and then we shall, see the outcome of what it is that I end up doing. All right, so we've got something done in terms of shaping up the landscape a little bit. I just wanted to give this area a little bit of life by bringing things out. Just it being straight like that didn't really resonate with me. So at least this gives it something. Not the prettiest, but I'm thinking that as we start building, we might just start shaping the whole place up a little bit better. But for now, at least the shore or whatever does not look so plain. Also, as I look at it more and more, I'm thinking to myself that I might just decide to move the industry this side. Looking at the wind direction, the wind is blowing out in this way anyways. So if it's here, it'll just blow straight into the sea, and it's closer to the ship route. It will probably make my life a lot easier when it comes to ships accessing things like the cargo harbor and stuff like that. Maybe we can even put the cargo harbor right over here, right? How big are you? Oof, that's quite large. So unless I reclaim a little bit of land, we could put it here, or we could make a plan and come put it around here and let it sort of work its way into or in between these islands. I mean, we've got options. So I might just decide to move the industry to this side as opposed to over here, and then that will just open me up to being able to build out the city proper and blend everything out into its surrounding residential areas, farmlands, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's where we are at. I think so far so good. What I want to do now is to work in the road network, the main road arterial. And the way I want to do that is I don't want the road to just be straight. We're gonna get the road going in all kinds of funky directions. So I'm thinking that we could probably cross the railway somewhere around there. Okay, so we're not starting from its exact point, but perhaps we have it run, you know, somewhere along, something like so. So I'm gonna try and keep a couple of straight segments so that when we actually come to building, it's a little bit easy. It's not just the most challenging of things to build. But if we can get the road to have a nice fancy route, right, all the way through the main town, I think that might be better. So let's go ahead and decrease this down to the lowest, and then I'm gonna raise this up to, I'm gonna say, does it cross at 7.5? I can't remember if 7.5 is able to cross, but let's do 8. So if we do it up to 8, how is this? I'm just worried that it's too steep, right? But I think even if it's too steep, we can play with it, so that's fine. We can come in after the fact and try and make it a little bit better. So this will cross over there. But what I also want to do is that I think I want another railway line running through this, because this is going to carry a lot of the international traffic. But I'm thinking if I have a secondary line, I can branch it off and connect it up into this town. Then this track doesn't have to carry all of the rail the rail traffic that's going to flow through the city. But I'm not 100% sure how I want that to look just yet. So perhaps we have some kind of a main station over here, and then we can have a route that kind of comes in this way and then branches this way and then goes up that side. But I am not 100% sure. So I'm not going to stress myself too much about it right now. Let's just get this road going so that, you know, we can get things flowing somehow. So we get it coming all the way in over onto this side. Ooh, this will actually be nice. They come and they're very close together, so they almost touch, but not quite. We bring this down to maybe over here. I really don't know where I want to go with this road. All I know is it's going to provide, or it's going to carry traffic through the city, and that's all I want it to do. I wonder if we shouldn't cross it over the railway at this point, right? Because then if it comes across, it feeds this area, because the idea is this is going to feed a lot of places. So we're gonna have, let's say, an off ramp, or not an off ramp, but a thingamabob here, right, where we then build off a new neighborhood on this side. We can have maybe another one over on this side as well, where we build another neighborhood, and we basically just keep branching off of this all over the place like that. And these areas then get connected up via this, what is essentially a nice speedy road across the entire city. And that's what I'm thinking. And once you get on, at least you have uninterrupted flow until round about over there. And a lot of these could become actual off ramps that don't necessarily intersect the road in this manner, so the traffic flows nice and smooth. And maybe between here somewhere we can have some kind of a crossover, which I think might look pretty cool. Yeah, I think that might look pretty cool. So depending upon how complex an area is going to be, we can build out a proper interchange. Or maybe, you know what? Let me work in an interchange of some sort over here that is going to feed this area, and perhaps maybe even find a way to get the road to come in and feed this area as well. And let's see what that will look like. All right, so let's take a look at what we've got here. So we've got a simple little off-ramp here that keeps traffic flowing a little bit better than this one. So the idea here is, if this is going to be a busy area, we have a nice small off-ramp that, you know, tries to keep traffic flowing, with the exception of this area that comes in. But I do want places like this to sort of take shape. Not everything will be an interchange or something of the like, but it makes it look a little bit more realistic, or almost as though as traffic started increasing in this area, the afterthought was, hey, let's just add a little lane here to alleviate pressure from somewhere else. And these are the sort of things that I want to build on this road that is going to basically feed all of the different areas along the sea over here. So I'm going to build a couple more of these types of interchanges all along this road, right up until, I don't know, as far as I can get. And then let's see how all of it is going to shape up and look like. I think over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and build some kind of a way of feeding this space, whilst at the same time coming across and also feeding this space. So I'm going to mix up these highways as much as I possibly can, and in the end they're all going to interconnect into one nice large road network. At least that's the plan. And let's see if I can get it all to work out the way I am envisioning. Let's build some roads. All right, so I've built out a couple of roads all along this area, and the idea is this is going to be the fast interstate that is going to cut through most of this city. So all of this is not going to have any zoning, but we are going to build right up against these roads, and they will work as the backbone connection between all the various areas. Now, having looked at this for quite a while, I've decided that I'm not going to put the downtown here, but instead I am going to move it into this area. So that will allow us to build a more dense, spaced out area over here. And this area we start transitioning into more of the suburbs and farmlands and things like that. And that's why I think this road here makes more sense for that. I haven't connected it up yet. I still need to work that out. But this area will become the downtown. And so we'll set up like all of our main public transport hubs and stuff in this area. So what I was thinking is, instead of continuing with all of these road building, by the way, it's so difficult to try and just lay out an entire road network when nothing is being built. So I've decided that I'm going to rather come and set up some of the infrastructure that I want to set up. So like, for example, I think I want my harbor to be around here. I think this is going to make a little bit of sense. I think all this area is going to get shaped up with keys and stuff. So that's the plan. I think this can be a bus hub. That's perfectly fine. And then we can upgrade this to have the other terminal. So we will use this terminal to connect up to all of these towns. I think we'll connect this one up to maybe this city and then to that city, since these are going to be the 3 big cities, or better, or maybe even just all of them, right? I mean, why not? So we might just do that, and then we'll use the other one for the outside connections. And looking at it, I think the height is okay. What's this thing? I want to remove a whole bunch of trees here just so that we can put down some roads and stuff. Okay, so around here we're gonna put down a nice big avenue. We're gonna have, the plan is we're gonna have a tram line running through the city as well. So we're gonna plonk down a train station maybe towards this side. So if we have a train station here, we've got the harbor here. It's a nice hub. Just need to figure out where I'll put the tram. The tram, actually, I think we'll run the tram over this road. So we can go ahead, and I think we'll upgrade this one to have the tram tracks. And I think this will work out nicely. So the trams will sit in the middle. And actually, I think for the purposes of this area, what I will do is we will go ahead and change a little something. So we'll upgrade maybe a portion of this to be this regular road, and then the trams will then be on the outside, right? So then it's easier for the trams to just stop, people get on and off, and then it sort of goes back into the space. Now, since starting this recording, Move It has had a nice, beautiful update that has now introduced a nice menu for undoing, single mode selection, marquee selection, manipulation mode, and you can even redo stuff. So with this, I can go ahead now and grab like my node here, and I can shift it and basically have my node controller type effect so that things are nice and stretched out. So it's not as sharp of a turn for the trams, which I think is a lot more realistic. And we can do the same for areas like this. So I think I can shift this node, grab this, and we can shift this out a little bit. And I think I should then be able to grab the same over here and then just extend this one out. And then we get nice, beautiful extended out. And we get much smoother turns for the trams. And I think that is cool. So that then sets up our basic area for where we're going to have our what's this? Bus hubs, not bus hubs, transport hubs will be over there. Definitely going to upgrade this to the maximum. I think let's give you the extra platforms as well. And I'm not really going to bother myself with subway. The taxi stop doesn't seem to really do anything, but you know what, let's give it the upgrade as well anyways. Now what I want to do is that I want to work out my train line connection. So we're going to connect this up, around and into this area, and then we're gonna connect this one around and into this area. But I'm going to try and keep a second rail line that is going to run along this one, and the idea is that that rail line will then branch off of the main one and feed other areas such as here and here. And perhaps what I'm thinking is I'll connect it up over here and move it down into the town that we're building there in the live streams. So that's what I'm thinking. I do need to get the, what is this thing? The avenue also sort of worked in between all of this, because this is going to be my main tram line. So I want the trams to connect up to here. It must do a nice big loop that comes around and joins back to everything here and then run through the downtown. So that's the plan. That's what I'm thinking. I need to see if all of this is going to work out. I had wanted to build a custom station, but as I looked at it more and more, I think this station actually fits in perfectly fine. I don't think it's the end of the world. The only thing is we do not have a connection on this side, which is a bit of a bummer. So I was thinking maybe if I could get a train line that runs over here. I just wondered if we could build then a custom thing around it. But I'm not entirely convinced that that will be easy to do. So if I go ahead, let's move it. I want to grab, let's go into selection mode. So let's grab that. Let's grab that, and can I shift this close? Because then if I can shift this close, then we can give this place its own, like a custom stop, and make it, and then it looks like it's all connected. So a stop this side will have a custom something built around here, which then should work out very nicely. Let's get the rail line connected first. I think I'm gonna have to drop down the land here a little bit, but let's get the rail line connected, and then we will try and see if we can get all the other stuff connected up. Alrighty, I think we've got some sort of connections going. Now, I am not 100% sure I am happy with all of these connection points because I've got glitches. but I think this is something that I will attend to later on. I'm also not a big fan of how I just connect all of these areas. I actually think for this space here, I want to make this a slightly bigger loop. I think will be a better option for me. So I want to get rid of this, and that. Oh, let me pause that because that is breaking things right now. And let's go ahead and connect this up as a bigger loop and see what we get, because I think that's a little bit better. And then we can bring this one out as a straight-ish line all the way up to about there, and then perhaps connect this over on this side. How does that connection look? Oh, it looks wonky as who knows what. How's that? Is this better? I think this might be better. Let's get rid of some of these trees so we can see properly. Oh, gracious me. That is by no means okay. That's fine. I'll accept it. And I was considering maybe running this one also a little bit further along, all the way to about there, and then maybe we can then go ahead and connect you up a little further down the track. Okay, and then we will do development in and around this place. So this gives a nice way of bypassing all of the train stations and everything around here. And then I also have this one line that connects all the way up over here. And what we need to do is connect this up over onto this side as well, so that I can make use of this track. To be honest, I don't know if I will make use of this track, but it's going to be there serving as decorative elements. And then we can build things like custom stations in places like here, over there, and so on and so forth. So that's what I'm thinking. So far, we've got all of the connections set up, which is good. I'm liking that. Now it's time to basically zone up and, well, not zone up, but at least continue building the road infrastructure and stuff like that. So I don't like the way this ends right here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do something funky. What I want to do is this. I want to try and get this to have a connection sort of this way, and then bring it straight to this side. And then we'll have a stop here. So we'll have a stop on this side, and then at the main station, and then off it goes into the rest of the region. And then I think that will avoid me having to do this weird thing over here. I think I can extend this out maybe just a little bit so that the whole area looks a nice kind of way. And we're gonna detail out all of this. Right now, it is all infrastructure set up. And I'm really hoping that all this is going to turn out with the weird vision that I have in my head. But so far, so good. Got infrastructure going. Only thing now is we need to connect up the roads up to the main road so that cars can come in and out of this space. We'll hook up all of the water and the electricity, and maybe we might just put down a building or two to start setting up this downtown area. All right, so here's where we are at. We've set up the basic infrastructure. I think I'm going to leave things here. I find the foundation of a new city is always one of the hardest things to do, especially when I'm trying to incorporate things like the real infrastructure ahead of time, purely because trying to put real infrastructure in afterwards is extremely difficult, and I find this extremely challenging. It's part of the reason why I missed a video last week, and I took my time to try and set this up, and I don't want to rush it anymore, right? So we've got the basics in. We've got this main highway that is going to form the foundations of our outskirts, the suburbs, the farmlands, and so on. And we've got at least the main station sort of down, or at least the area that I think it will be. We've got a way to get the main rail to come in and bypass the main station and just keep going, whilst at the same time we've got a way to get off a local line that comes in. We've got a local stop the side, and I've managed to work out how we can get a local train line running through the main city. The only thing that is left right now is a connection to the main road, something that I think I'll worry about in the next video. It should be fairly easy to connect something up, at least as a base, and then we just start building. So that's my plan. From the next video, we're just going to start building. And I think once we start getting a couple of buildings down and stuff, it will become a lot easier for me to figure out the rest of the entire city. One of the things I would love to do is to get like 2 golf courses into this big city. I was eyeing this spot right here and thinking, wouldn't it be cool if I managed to get a golf course squeezed in here? So it will be a nice, narrow, long one, something that is modeled after a golf course near where I stay. So that is what I'm thinking. The foundations is down. It's not a lot of progress seemingly, but it is certainly good enough for us to get things going. All right, so another live stream has passed since I started this video, and between then and now we've started building out this town. So we started with the zoning, and we've gone with getting the core of the city or the town center down with all of these dense buildings. We've started playing around with some of these new decals and assets that are on the workshop, as well as all of your, where are they, the graffiti assets and stuff like that, which is pretty awesome. I think these look really cool, and we're basically going along with us in the live streams, expanding out on this town. So if you want to join the live streams, you want to follow along with the build, join us over on Twitch every Saturday evenings. This is turning out to be quite an awesome build, and I think I'll include some shots of this area in the cinematics, since we didn't exactly build a ton of stuff over on the side in this episode. So yes, everybody, that's what everything is looking like. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. If you enjoy seeing me struggle through today to figure things out, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you've been here a while and you haven't done so already, and don't forget to turn on the notifications, share the content. It really helps get the channel out there, and it is truly appreciated. Big shout out to all of my patrons and YouTube members for all the extra supports that you continue to choose to show the channel. Your support is really appreciated. As we get into the cinematics, I hope you will enjoy, I don't know, these little cinematics, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Cheers, everybody.